Niacin is a foundational nutrient for mitochondrial health and cellular energy production, yet its significance is frequently overlooked, even in contexts where energy dysfunction is central, such as chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, long COVID, or diagnosed mitochondrial disorders. While the supplement industry and clinical practice often focus on quick fixes like CoQ10, D-ribose, or L-carnitine to boost ADP, they frequently ignore the basic fact that none of these energy-boosting compounds can work properly if the core NAD+/NADH system is compromised. Niacin, as the precursor to NAD+, is arguably the most essential ingredient in this biochemical equation. At the center of every cell, mitochondria act as the body's power plants, converting the energy in glucose, fats, and amino acids into ADP, the fuel that powers everything from muscle contraction to brain function. This conversion process, known as oxidative phosphorylation, relies on a series of redox reactions that shuttle electrons through the mitochondrial electron transport chain. NAD+ and its reduced form, NADH, are the chief carriers in this process. Without enough NAD+, the entire system backs up, ADP production stalls, and cells begin to starve for energy, even in the presence of adequate fuel. This makes niacin deficiency or even suboptimal intake a potential hidden driver of low energy states. Individuals with chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS, mitochondrial dysfunction, or unexplained exhaustion may be experiencing impaired mitochondrial performance due to insufficient NAD+ availability. However, because niacin is classified as a simple vitamin, its role is rarely investigated. Modern fatigue protocols lean heavily toward exotic mitochondrial supplements, adaptogens, or metabolic enhancers, yet fail to address whether the mitochondrial machinery even has the core cofactors it needs to function. What's particularly revealing is that NAD+ isn't just a participant in energy production, it is a rate-limiting factor. This means that the availability of NAD+ directly controls how much ADP a mitochondrion can produce. If niacin is low, NAD+ is low, and ADP production slows down across the board. This has profound implications for conditions where cellular energy is compromised. In neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, as well as in metabolic disorders, aging, and chronic illness, mitochondria are often damaged or inefficient, and NAD+ depletion is a consistent theme. Restoring NAD+ through niacin supplementation can partially reverse this, recharging mitochondrial function and improving energy metabolism system-wide. Furthermore, the stress of illness, infection, or inflammation can drastically increase NAD+ consumption. Enzymes involved in DNA repair, like PARPs, and immune response, like CD38, consume large amounts of NAD+ during stress states. This leads to what some researchers now call NAD+ sink, a state where the body burns through its NAD+ reserves faster than it can replenish them, leaving energy-starved cells in its wake. Again, niacin becomes essential here, not just as a vitamin but as a therapeutic agent to restore metabolic balance. Ironically, even as the health and wellness industry obsesses over mitochondrial performance, it often fails to prioritize the very nutrient that makes that performance possible. You can supplement CoQ10 all day, but if your NAD+ is depleted, the mitochondrial chain still won't function optimally. Likewise, fatigue patients often spend enormous amounts on ADP enhancers, energy drinks, or nootropics, yet continue to suffer because their cells are lacking the raw molecular currency required to even make ADP. This oversight is partly due to niacin's reputation as basic and partly due to its flush-inducing effects at high doses, which tend to deter widespread use. But it's also a systemic problem in medicine and nutritional therapy, a tendency to treat symptoms like low energy with trendy, high-cost interventions while ignoring foundational biochemistry. NAD+ is not optional, it is critical. And niacin is the simplest, most cost-effective way to support and replenish it. In truth, niacin should be at the center of any conversation about mitochondrial health, not at the margins. It powers the very engines that sustain cellular life, and when it is deficient, or merely insufficient for the body's demands, those engines sputter, stall, and eventually fail. Whether the issue is fatigue, brain fog, muscle weakness, or aging itself, niacin may not just be supportive, it may be the missing link. Reframing niacin from a forgotten vitamin into a cornerstone of cellular energy and mitochondrial resilience is not just scientifically accurate, it's clinically necessary. It's time to stop chasing symptoms with superficial solutions and start restoring the underlying metabolic pathways that power human vitality. And at the center of that restoration, niacin. Quiet, unglamorous, essential.